Alright, this is our presentation on photosynthesis. I'm Yusuf Mahmoud.
I'm Ibrahim Mohammed.
And I'm Hadi Hadidi.
Alright, so we're gonna go over first C1.3.1 on photosynthesis. So we got like a bell word for you guys. What is photosynthesis? Please use your Chromebooks. When you're done, like raise your hand.
180 seconds.
60 seconds.
Oh, not bad.
I'll do what I can hear.
Yes, Hamza.
Photosynthesis, you.
No. Let's wait for the entire class to get the answer first.
Please be patient.
If everybody catch up.
10 seconds.
No. Did everyone get the answer?
No.
No?
Alright, those who got it, raise your hand.
No.
What
Not everybody got the answer. Not everybody got the answer. We'll wait for the last few people to get the answer. Alright, does everybody have the answer?
Yes.
Alright, who wants to...
We'd like to share with the class. Yes,
It's the use of light to break down water and turn it into glucose
Alright, anybody
and
else?
CO2.
Okay.
Does anyone want to add to what Hamza has to say?
No.
Anyone want to add?
Anybody else?
Alright, so yeah, Hamza was basically right. So photosynthesis is the synthesis of food using light energy and carbon dioxide made possible by the chloroplast organelle. So the food it creates, photosynthesis, it creates glucose, which is a sugar carbohydrate. And photosynthesis occurs in the chloroplast of plant cells. In photosynthesis, there are two reactions that must happen in order to get the end product of glucose. The process involves carbon dioxide, water, and light energy.
The light independent reaction. It's also known as the Calvin cycle or even the dark cycle. The light independent reaction is located in the stromas, which are the fluid-filled interiors of the chloroplast. The reaction uses carbon dioxide, ATP, and NADPH, which carries hydrogen. And it's supplied by the light-dependent reaction as what's it called? ATP and NADPH come from the light-dependent reaction.
Does anyone have any questions about this? Because it's actually a pretty complicated topic.
So NADPH is just hydrogen carrier?
No, NADPH is produced like. Wait, which electron carrier are you talking about?
NADPH.
No, NADPH is it gets reduced, so that way it can make ATP. So in light independent reactions, the NADPH is actually cycled from the dependent reaction, and it's the entire purpose is for it to perform or to produce ATP.
And its oxidized form is NADP plus, right? Alright.
Anyone have any other questions about light independent reactions?
You guys kind of read the slides.
Yeah. You guys can get 5 minutes to read the slides. 5 minutes.
Can you like go over it again?
This which is really important if you guys want to write it down. Are you guys done?
You give them.
You're okay.
If you're not done, raise your hand.
We're good.
You guys want to write this down too, or no?
No, we got that written down.
Got that? You guys want to draw this?
So
Yeah, everyone should draw this diagram. This is important for light independent reactions. So we'll give you 60 seconds to do that. Alright, this is light-dependent reactions. So the difference between light-independent reactions and light-dependent reactions, first and foremost, is the location of where it occurs. So light-dependent reactions occur inside of this thing. It's inside of the chloroplast, and it's inside of these organelles, or not organelles, these locations called thylakoids. So thylakoids is where all of your light-dependent reactions occur. And it begins with something called the photosystem 2. So photosystem 2, its job is to basically receive a photon from the sun, and this excites the electron. So photons excite electrons, and then it puts it into like a higher state of energy. That's basically what happens. So when you have this excited electron inside of your photosystem 2, it uses a process known as photolysis. And if you break down that word photolysis, you're splitting something. So in this case, photolysis is when you're splitting water into its constituents. It basically just means you split it up into hydrogen and oxygen. And the hydrogen, as we know, it carries an electron. So that electron from hydrogen is used later on in the process of light-dependent reactions. The oxygen is produced as a byproduct. So if you remember in the photosynthesis equation, you have oxygen as one of your final products. That's where oxygen comes in. It comes in from your photosystem 2. So after photolysis occurs, the electron is supplied to chlorophyll A, and chlorophyll A is basically it creates pigment for the cell. So chlorophyll A's job is to receive the electron, and it uses that electron as energy to basically create pigment. So you don't really have to know this name. We have a lot of specifics in here, but what you need to know is that there's a bunch of electron carriers inside of the cell, which transport, so as you go along. Can you zoom in on this one? So this is photosystem 2, if you guys were wondering. So basically, if you imagine the sun was here, the photons come over here and excites this electron. And then this electron, it goes through these electron carriers. And this is a proton pump right here. So basically the entire point of the proton pump is it takes the hydrogen from when we split up water into its constituents, which is just hydrogen and oxygen. It takes the hydrogen and it basically moves it inside of the stroma. So now you get hydrogen and you put it into basically a higher concentration of hydrogen. So you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's basically concentrated amount of hydrogen. And this is going to be important later to produce ATP. So after this electron gets excited, so as you see, the electron is moving through these different electron carriers. So as it moves from electron carriers, it actually loses energy. So it loses energy as it's moving across, which is why you have photosystem 1 right here, which is going to receive light from the sun to activate it again. So basically increase the amount of energy. So we have this electron, it moves through, it loses energy, and then it receives light from the sun to basically get higher energy again. And this is going to be passed through these these little locations, which it's called the NADP reductase. So it basically, well, by the name, you can probably guess what happens, but it basically reduces NADP and turns it into NADPH. It's very similar to cellular respiration. We had NAD and then turns into NADH. If you guys remember that. And then afterwards, after this NADPH is created, these hydrogens that were passing through this proton pump, all this concentration of hydrogen, it passed through the ATP synthase. And the mechanism for ATP synthase, it's called chemiosmosis. It's something that's very important in photosynthesis. Basically, it uses facilitated diffusion. So does anyone remember what facilitated diffusion is? No? Anyone? Raise your hand if you know what facilitated diffusion is. Raise your hand high. Be proud. Eddie, what's facilitated diffusion? Oh my gosh.
Isn't
it? I remember it's not active. It's a passive form of transport, but it's when you use integral proteins and the other type.
All right. Does anyone want to add?
Channel materials.
Does anyone want to
Yeah,
add?
that's what I was gonna add. Yeah. It's just regular diffusion except through a channel.
So who knows what diffusion is? Can someone define diffusion?
Oh, it's from low to high.
From high to low, right? So perfect. So basically, if you guys notice what type of situation we're in a high concentration of hydrogen, these hydrogen atoms, and basically the ATP synthase, it takes advantage of this, and it takes the high amount of hydrogen, the high concentration, and then it releases these hydrogen atoms outside to a lower concentration. And guess what happens? This hydrogen is exactly what ADP needs to produce into ATP. So this is the entire point of having this type of ATP synthase is because having these hydrogen atoms, because hydrogen atoms is what ADP needs to convert to ATP. And this all occurs inside of the chloroplast. And this is the primary function of light dependent reactions, because it has to depend on the light from the sun. I know we don't have the sun here, but you just imagine that all of these photon systems, this photon system 2, photon system 1, so all of these photon systems require energy from the sun to pass these electrons into higher states of energy, which allows this entire process to go through. So this is the very abridged version or very abridged explanation of how light-dependent reactions work. And this is just more energy on the photon system. So like I said, photon system 1 absorbs light. So this is the name of the actual electron carrier. It's ferredox, and this is used in NADP reductase. And then this is related to independent or to light independent reactions because it gets sent to the Calvin cycle, which is what Heather already explained, and you guys already took notes on that. So good job. You guys should probably draw this diagram right here because this shows how light independent reactions work. So we'll give you guys 60 seconds to do that. 60 seconds to write notes.
As you guys should. Oh, you wrote notes pretty fast, man.
Yeah, everyone looks like they wrote the notes already. Yeah. I'll give you guys just a little bit more time. A little bit more time. Alright, so it looks like everybody's done, so let's move on.
Alright, we got an activity for you guys. Can you guys try and label the stock part of the chloroplast and identify the point if you guys want?
You guys should have already learned this, so this is just a refresher. You know, just testing, paying attention to biology.
Somewhere there should be lamellar bodies or something.
Yes.
We'll start with the first. I'm figuring the ones that have it, yes. Sorry. Yeah.
So on the outside there's a double membrane.
Yes.
And then then inside the lamella is like the little bridges connecting the thylakoids, right?
Okay.
And then there's also the gramma, which is like the individual
The individual parts of the stack,
yeah, individual.
right?
And then in a stack they get thylakoids, and then the lamella connects them together, and then the fluid in between all that is called stroma.
Can everyone just clap it up for Yusuf because that was so incredible that he was able to pull out this information. Good job, Yusuf. So yes, he was right. That's the stroma, an entire stack of these grana, and this is a thylakoid, obviously, and then you have the inner and outer membrane. So yeah, that's it for this activity. Good job, Yusuf.
Alright, thank you very much for listening.
Yeah, thank you guys. Thank you guys.
Yeah.